And it was never in your financial records.
Excuse me, please respect us.
No
If you
problem.
can't respect us, you can leave.
No problem, I apologize.
So, I just wanted to let you know that, and I've lived here for 9 years and had to put that bill.
Okay.
And there's people in here that still owe tons and tons of money. So,
What I will say is, in a positive note, you know, unfortunately, a lot of times people dwell on negativity and you get all this negative stuff running around the community. It's not productive. It's not productive for anybody. This community is financially stable. That's a good point. I've been here as long as Bill has, and I've seen the bad times, and it's progressively gotten way better. Yes, we had a huge financial burden back at when the builder turned over the community. We had not a lot of money in the bank account, and since then we're able to build reserves, add amenities, enhance the community, add monument signs. We're still working on it. Is it perfect? No. You know, could somebody else do it better? Probably. You know, I mean, there's always good and bad in all communities, but we've come a long way. We've done a lot of good things. We have a lot of really good homeowners in this community. We have a lot of people step up to the plate and help when they can. I think this board and previous boards have worked very hard. You know, we have reserves. Yes, we have reserves. And you know why we have reserves? So we don't have to special assess anybody. I am vehemently against special assessing homeowners. We have money in reserves to protect us. If we have to redo our roadways, we have reserve study done, and everything is open. It's all available. Christine has it if anybody wants to see it. We have reserve studies done. We have everything here. You know, we have large pump systems, we have irrigation systems, we have road systems, we have pools. All these things need maintenance. And at some point in time, there's a life expectancy and we need to replace them. If we don't have reserves, guess what? We all got to step up to the plate and pay for it, okay? So there is a reason for reserves. Now, when you reach your reserves, we had a reserve study done. Just so you know, we don't arbitrarily pick numbers out. We had an engineering company come in, do a reserve study. What they did is they looked at all the equipment, building structures, and everything. They looked at the condition and the expected life expectancy on that equipment, okay? And then they said, here's what you need to set aside each year for reserves. And when you're fully funded in your reserves, at that time, then we could say, well, you know what? If our reserves are fully funded, you know, then we can turn around and do something else. Can we reduce the fees? Do we need to add amenities? I mean, the finance committee recommended reducing the fees last year, which we did a little bit. So where I'm going with this is that we need to make sure we have reserves. God forbid if we had a disaster. What if we had a major hurricane? Okay, yep, we have hurricane insurance, absolutely. You still have to pay a deductible, which is very large, 7% of the policy. And you know what? Your landscape is not included. So you see all these thousands of trees around the community in the buffer? They're not included in an insurance policy, and they're mandated by the master plan. Therefore, we have to replace them. Who's going to pay for those if we don't have reserves? The community. So there's a reason for it. You know, the HOA isn't just saying, hey, you got to pay these fees because you have to pay these fees. There's a reason. There's a budget. It gets mailed out every year. If anybody has questions or concerns, wants to join a committee, you're welcome to. We want help. We ask every year. We ask every year for help. We ask every month for help. We ask people to, you know, step up if you want to be on the board. You know, some board members are getting tired. We've been doing it a long time. You know, I mean, it's been a long time. I'm getting tired. I don't know about the rest of you, but I've been doing it so long.
Well, I'm
And
getting tired too.
I work 50, 60 hours a week at my day job. So this, you know, this is volunteer time. So, you know, I just want to put that out there because I know I don't read everything that goes around. Sometimes there's a lot of crazy stuff that goes around the community. Somebody will tell me about it here or there. I really don't buy into it. I'm not into the drama. I know we're doing the right thing. I know if you want to come in and speak to Christine, you want to speak to me, you want to speak to anybody here, you want to see what's going on, I'll give you my number. I have no problem. You want to know what's going on, I'll tell you. There's not, you know, there's nothing wrong going on in this community. There's a lot of good going on. I think we have a beautiful community, and I think we can make it better. And I think we can make it even much better if we can get more support where people are proactive. If you're not happy with something, speak up, make some suggestions, make a recommendation. Don't just complain. Say something. Hey, why don't you guys do it this way? Or why don't we try this? So I'm going to end
But in a
Yeah.
professional
Well,
manner,
I would like
right?
to comment on you mentioned about the reserve, but how did we get the reserve? We had 14% deadbeats. So we have now at least 90%
Well, it was
honest.
cutting-
No, let me complete
Yeah.
now, please. 90% of homeowners are honest and they are diligent to pay their dues, and that's how we have reserve. So we should not allow 10% to ride on the back of the 90%. And we should make all the effort that we get all the delinquency,
And we do, we pursue it and all legal remedies available.
That's
We're
right.
obligated to, that's, you know.
Because some people are getting a message that they can get away with that.
Oh,
You
no,
see?
nobody's getting a message. As soon as somebody is 90 days late, which is what everybody wanted from the beginning. Oh, get stricter, get harder, get the deadbeats out. When you're 90 days late, your file does not stay
How
here.
did you go to the $20,000 then? HOA abuse.
Well, there are some that get away with that
How?
because they go bankrupt, or because they go into foreclosure, or they go into some sort of a defense with the lawyer. and
Before
they're able to-
foreclosure, well, if it was done 90 days, they would not know.
Those are old accounts.
Carrie,
Those are old accounts.
there's always exceptions to the rule, okay? There's always gonna be some, with everything that happened with the banking industry, there are some homes that there's issues with, and they're not moving through the process. So we'll just kind of leave it at that. I'm gonna open the floor, because I'm sure there's people here that we're gonna end.
It's their turn.
Yeah, it's their turn, 7:45. Thank you, okay. Who would like, anybody have any comments, questions? Yes.
We're putting a lot to refurbish the clubhouse and furniture. When are you gonna refurbish the exercise? The equipment's breaking down rapidly. The stationary bike, I've been in here several times since I had a stroke to use it, and it's always broken. Always.
It's not broken now.
Give it a week. The time is it's fixed, a week later it's broke, you're fixing it.
But I also,
You need to replace it.
yeah, I have a quote
Well, the gym was refurbished a couple years ago, and there is a maintenance, program going on. If there's issues with it, then Christine definitely needs to address it, take
Well,
do a survey on
she's
it.
tried, she did her best, she did everything.
Yeah, but at the last board meeting, we decided for new equipment on that.
We did say on the bike.
Yeah, that was the only thing that I was aware of, there was a bike, and that was approved. Now, if they're saying there's other issues
Well,
with it,
I think it should be looked at. If there's money to do it in next year's budget, I really think we should maybe.
and it's something you have to do periodically, I agree, you have to do it periodically, because again, it's equipment, and depending on how many people use it, if we have a lot of people using it, which you could tell now by the fog system, what the activity is in the gym, I'd like to see that, by the way, if you could make it known, we'll see. We can certainly take a look at that, absolutely. It should be maintained.
No, but can you mention something else than a bike? I mean, what is that?
Well, the thing is I had a stroke, a minor TIA. The exercise bike was one of the stationary bike was one of the.
Okay, we got it.
They said,
Okay.
But every time I come in here to use it, it's always broke.
Okay. Well, she has a valid point, because the bike kept breaking.
They
Of
kept
course,
breaking.
yeah, I agree with her.
So it was replaced,
So,
but.
I mean, if it's.
Yeah.
And when it was repaired, and we're going to close for two different types of.
Right, okay, all
And
right.
I have that too.
And I agree, it's something that should be looked at periodically to make sure the equipment is functioning. So Christine will follow up, make sure that the bike is functioning. Anybody else?
Speaking of that, the elliptical machine, that needs maintenance, I guess, that's making a lot of noise.
Lot of noise?
What's that?
The elliptical.
The middle one.
The middle.
When does when do they come in to do the monthly maintenance?
He was here about, he was here, I know, 3 weeks ago.
All right, so he's going to do, so why don't you call them and tell them when they come in to do the maintenance, you want to go around with them and you want to see what's going on with it and check the equipment.
Yeah, normally I do myself forward maintenance guy.
Jesus, and then see, and test it, and see what's going on with it.
just like the problem that we have at the border with all the immigrant kids coming across. It's an impossibility. We have tried.
What she's saying is the fact that to reduce the amount of people tailgating and coming in. Listen, it's.
Those reflectors and unifying it, it looks too cheesy. Every time I go there, I can't close my eyes because it looks.
As far, yeah, well, Christine's working on getting bids for that. She's working on bids for that. As far as adding that back, I don't know, that's something that it would definitely.
Just like Bill Malty said, it could never happen because we have slide gates there now. We have to tear out the whole slide gate system.
Why don't you put a lock there like they have in a lot of other communities? That's gonna cost money, but if we have it, get bids on it. I'm in gated communities every day.
To do what, Bill?
Put locks. You pull in, the gate goes down behind you.
Oh, you're talking about a trap.
Yep, there you go, whatever you wanna call
A trap system.
No, but
it. I've said it for years, it's gonna stop the people from tailgating. I see it all the time. I stop my truck, hit me, I'm gonna get out and be mad. I see it all the time.
You're talking about the trap system. It's
Exactly.
probably
When I
another
come in,
area.
they'll just follow me through. We have a gate, and it doesn't, like you said, a gate or an arm doesn't matter. It's the same process. It's still gonna move slow, but you're stopping the guy behind you from coming in. Because they
Yeah,
just
I know
they don't
exactly
care.
what you're saying.
They don't care. I watch them come from Whispering Woods right behind me and drive straight through the Lions Road multiple times a day.
But how would you stop somebody jumping over? That's their question.
We want a
And
guard.
do we have a camera? I mean, aren't we catching them on the camera?
What are you gonna do? You can't catch up.
Yeah, how you gonna stop that?
Electrify the fence.
Just put in a guard.
But here's what would have to occur. No, I understand what you're saying completely. If that were looked at, it'd have to be redesigned back there because you have the slide gate. Unless you made it only a resident access and not a guest. You could probably, then what would be the purpose of having a guard or maybe a part-time guard? I'm not sure. Maybe we can come up with some options, as far as when you see people coming in back there, what's the most activity? Weekends or just all the time or just whenever?